Good evening, everyone. It is the 1st of December, which means our holiday, my apologies, our holiday writing month has officially begun. And here in the Netherlands, December is slightly more filled with holidays than in other countries. We have Sinterklaas, which is coming Friday, and that's always something fun to celebrate. And then of course we have Christmas, and here in the Netherlands we celebrate Christmas for 2 days instead of just one. So that's fun. That's always a fun time with family and friends, and see what you're up to, and have a nice dinner, exchange presents, things like that. So, and that's both for Sinterklaas and for Christmas. So yeah, it's a good month. But that also means, or that December is also a month in which people have end of the year gatherings and things like that. But I was thinking, you know what? I'll just make December the holiday writing month. So we've had November, all done, and now we are progressing into December, the end of the year, and that means the holiday writing month is just you can set easier goals for yourself, because December is just, it's already such a full month. So yeah. Hey Tish, welcome in. I'm so happy to see you. Let me see if I can do this right. Yes, there we go. So happy to see you. I wish you a wonderful writing month this December. And what are you working on today? It's been a while since I was able to check in with your live streams. To fully check in. I've had a few busy days. Today was also a busy day, but okay, I'll see how things go. By the time I got home this afternoon, I was, making mistakes, things like that, and couldn't really form my thoughts anymore. But you know what? I don't care. I was like, okay, I'll just take a couple of hours rest. Have a small dinner because my lunch was already great, and then I'll see how it goes. So if by halfway through the live stream, or by the end of the live stream, you see me or you hear me saying things like, of which you think like, that doesn't really sound good, yeah, that's probably my brain's just slowly shutting down. So yeah. And Tishu say, you took today off from writing, setting up for December, writing through the holidays. Excellent, excellent. I have to admit, I'm not quite sure what I will do with Christmas. I mean, Sinterklaas, I don't have any kids, so Sinterklaas is not something I celebrate. I celebrate a lot anymore. As a family, we pretty much moved the dinner and things like that to Christmas. So the Sinterklaas is not much of a gathering for us as a family. But I'll see how it goes. But I will do a live stream then, and I'll keep on writing. But Christmas days, I'm not quite sure. I'll see how that goes. Especially because I have to prep Christmas dinner for the first day of Christmas. And it's Indonesian dinner, which means I'm going to make, I should say, soto soup and some more chicken and gado-gado, that's a vegetable dish, and maybe something else, I'm not sure yet. So I plan to do all that in the days before Christmas so that it's all perfectly well at Christmas dinner itself and that I don't need to do anything on Christmas Day. That's my intention. I'll see how it goes. Tish, you say you did brainstorm a new cozy. Ooh, interesting. Which will work on the and you will work on the outline while having lunch. That's great to hear. Tell us all about that new cozy story of yours. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it. I haven't had the time to properly sit down and read your novel yet. I hope to do that in the coming days because I'm really looking forward to reading your first cozy mystery, and yeah, it will be fun. It will be fun. So where was I? Right. Oh, for those who don't know me, my name is Ilse. I am a magic-wielding dragon companion and a creator of worlds. And the world that I will be writing in today is Tergane. And I am currently working on the Go Fly story, which is I should say that otherwise. Go Fly in a different way. Yeah, my brain's already having troubles. That's going to be interesting for the writing process. Anyways, Go Fly is the name of an event that happens with the three princes with three of the many princes in Tergane, I should say, but three of the princes in Dragon City. It is a very important event for these three young men. Well, rather two teenagers and one young man. And it's something that is being referred to in the main story a few times. So I'm working on that right now. And it's been a while. It's been a little over a week since I wrote it because I had to make sure that my writing laptop wouldn't crash anymore. Because it crashed 2 times. And that was really bad because it crashed to the point where all I could do was just press the on and off button and hope that it would restart. Luckily, all my writing work was saved, so that's good. And I immediately backed it up somewhere outside of this writing laptop. But yeah, that it took a while to find the cause, and someone in the gaming Discord helped me with that. He put me on the right path to finding out what was going on. And I have had contact with the people from Lenovo with tech support, and they told me that the crash reports I saw, that those were kind of surprising that these processes, the crashing of these processes, actually crashed my laptop. But they also said it was safe to remove these 2 particular programs, even though they were auto-installed by Windows. So yeah. Fingers crossed that removing these programs really helped, and otherwise I might have a different problem at hand, and in that case the guys from Lenovo will have to come here. So fingers crossed. Tish, your new cozy, you say it's about a young woman, a sleuth, who recently lost her job and broke up with her boyfriend. My, that's a lot happening all at once. And she inherited an old Victorian house, interesting, and a Maine Coon cat. Oh, you're kidding, I love cats. In Galveston, Texas, from a great aunt she never knew. When she arrived at the house, she discovers a squatter who was murdered. Well, that's not good. Working on it, but that's the premise. I have to say, I already like this premise. There is a lot going on already just in the beginning of her life. Well, not the beginning of her life, the beginning of the book, I imagine. And yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I mean, who is the squatter and where did he come from and why did he pick that house, he or she? Or they, them, any of the variants. And that Maine Coon cat, that's very interesting. And what does the Maine Coon cat do with that squatter, have to do with that squatter? And so many ideas that are popping up right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And Tisha say, yeah, she feels the universe is against her. I can imagine that, yeah. So, okay, first question. Breaking up with her boyfriend, was that her choice or his choice? And what happens? So, I mean, those are always things that can really change someone's life. And in real life, it's often said that when you break up a relationship or have some other big thing happening in your life, that you shouldn't how did I say that? That you shouldn't do something drastic in response. But sometimes it's just exactly what you need. I mean, the breakup, and then inheriting that house and maybe going there and living there for a while might be exactly what you need. So yeah. And as you say, you've got a lot of possibilities to work with. I can imagine that. I mean, it's so... There are so many things that can happen, and people who can come in play, and things that happen in that house or around that house, and people who are related to that quarter. Those are just all things that just pop up. Like, I can imagine all of these things playing some role in one way or another, and having some kind of influence on your story. So yeah, I think it will be wonderful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if I look at Go Fly and Tergene, I don't write cozy mysteries, but there's a lot of intrigue and loads of things happening. And also in Go Fly, I have already planted some seeds that not only some seeds will play in Go Fly, of course, but I've also planted some seeds already that will play in the main story. And mind you, there is a time gap of 10 years between Go Fly and the main story. So some things really carry over for a very long time into the main story. But I already know how these things will carry over and how certain characters will progress through the timeline, until they arrive in the Tergene main my apologies, until they arrive at the main timeline. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So let's get to our writing session of today. I will do a writing session of 60 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. And in the meantime, I wish you all a lot of fun with this creative session. Let me grab first. Let's go there, and then let me grab the timer. There we go, and here we go. Have fun. And that and that is the end of our creative session. How did it go for you guys? I have to say, it wasn't easy, but to be honest, I didn't expect it to be easy after today. It was pretty hard to find what I not so much find what I needed to write about, but how I wanted to write it. And there were things I wasn't sure about if I wanted to do that in this chapter or in another. So it was complicated. And I'm going to check in with the chat if my mouse wants to cooperate. Tish, I hope you had a great lunch and welcome back. You got act on alright, written out. That's great, awesome work. In an outline, and you're actually outlining this book. That's fantastic to hear. That's wonderful. It's when you start a new writing project, I always find it intriguing because there are so many possibilities, so many things you can do, and your writing process with each story can be different, and that's fun. So I want to. Is your writing process for this book? Do you feel that it will be different from your previous books? And if so, how different is it? How does it differ, I should say? I told you guys earlier that Friday it's Sinterklaas here, and I wanted to share a little if you and I talked I'm really looking forward right now. In an earlier live stream, I don't remember which one, doesn't matter. I told you guys that we have certain candy that's specific to Sinterklaas. And I want to take this week to show you a few different things. One of these things are these things. Does it work if I show you that like this? Yeah, it works a little bit. We call it schuimpjes. And if you translate that to English, it says marshmallow. And if you look at the inside, can you guys see that? A little bit. It may look a little bit like marshmallow, but as you can see, it's hard. I can hardly press in it. I really need to bite it or break it up like I just did. While marshmallows are really soft. So if you see this, I'm not making a dent into it. But it's very tasty. These schuimpjes are one of my favorite Sinterklaas treats. It's loads of sugar, so I try to not eat too much of it. So I usually buy just one small bag of them to restrain myself from eating too much of it, because you can get really addicted to those. So yeah, that's one of the Sinterklaas treats we have here in the Netherlands. I'll show you more tomorrow. Tissue say it's different because you didn't outline the last two books. You're still trying to find what works best for you, and this time you're trying to outline but keep it flexible. For me, or the best advice I can give you is, well, not advice, this is the best way to do it, indeed. Not so much the outlining, but keeping it flexible. At least in my experience. I have done purely discovery writing. I have done outline writing. I found that outline writing, where I have written it down into the smallest details, that doesn't work for me. That's too limiting for me. So I make an outline, but for me it's more a guideline. And that guideline works, and I give myself the freedom to completely deviate from it if necessary. So it's important to stay flexible. So I think that's a very good choice. And Tissue say you saw the candy, you could see it. Oh, perfect. It's it's really tasty, and they come in different colors, of course. I mean, it's candy that's often eaten by kids. The adults, it varies. So yeah, it's really aimed at kids. And as you say, yes, guideline, you're using bullet points. That's very good. I mean, I use keywords, key phrases, and that's about it. Unless I know upfront exactly in which chapter I want some certain foreshadowing, for example, and I know exactly how I want that foreshadowing to look like and to be executed, then I will write it down into detail. But that's just that small part of that chapter, and the rest is just guidelines, and I'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's fun to do it that way. It gives you the freedom to deviate and to find things that might work better, while also still having a guideline to keep on writing, to keep on going, and to reach the end of your story. And that's very important as well. So I always feel it's the best of both worlds, and that's why I love to use it. And for Go Fly, I have not written an extensive outline. It's just I have a few things in mind, and I know what needs to happen, or I know certain things that need to happen, I should say, and everything that happens in between. That's I try to make it, or I should say, I want to avoid being it really filler stuff that has no meaning. And that's, for example, what's going on in this chapter right now, or what's going on. That's the hard part of this chapter right now that I'm writing. This is a chapter that needs to convey some things, and at the same time, it has the function of a time gap or the bridge of a time gap, bridging the time gap. Am I making any sense still? So the previous chapter flowed into this chapter, but there needs to be some time until the next chapter can begin. And I'm still making sense. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tej. Sometimes I really wonder. So it's good that I'm still making sense to you. I'm very happy to hear that. So this chapter needs to bridge that gap between the previous chapter that flows into this chapter and the next chapter that comes from this chapter. That really, this chapter and the next chapter will also flow into each other in the time. So it's not that the next chapter will have a time jump. They really, where this chapter ends, the next chapter will begin in the time. And I needed to cross that bridge, to cross that gap, and this chapter is the filler bridge, but I also want to avoid having it being really a filler and nothing else. So I've sown in the seeds, planted the seeds, whatever the expression is. I've planted the seeds for later on in this story, and I have already planted seeds for the future, for that time gap of 10 years between this chapter, or between this story and the main story, and I have planted seeds for the main story. So it's not just a filler chapter, so that feels good. Now I just hope that when you will start to read it, that you also won't feel like it is a filler chapter, because I mean, I can feel it. I can see that it's not a filler chapter because everything that I've put into it, but you guys don't know what exactly I put into it that is going to work in the future. So it will be interesting. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to first write multiple or revise this story as it goes on. Or once I've written the first draft and then revise it, but also send it to pre-alpha readers to hear what they think and what they feel with this story, and if it has the impact that I hope it has, and if it feels the way I hope it feels when you guys read it. So I'll see how that goes, and from there I will adjust the story to see if I can make it better, and if I can make sure that things that I want to plant in this story, but that will only be executed sometime in the main storyline. I mean, there are things that I intentionally want to have in this story to make sure that it can come to fruition in the main storyline, to make sure that time has passed and that these things can evolve during that time, to make it so that it can have a real effect in the main storyline. So I'll see how it goes. So yeah, by the time that you guys get this story, I will have revised it a couple of times. I have no idea how many times, but for now this is the first draft, draft 0 as I like to call it, the sandbox version. Even though this is not a sandbox version as I have had with other stories, where I just put it all in and after that I will see how it all works. With this story I have more of a feeling what I want in it and the effect it needs to have in the future. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's still a challenge, and I like that. I mean, writing in itself is a very big challenge, and not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone wants to pick up that challenge. But those who do pick up that challenge, they are in for such a wonderful ride, because it plays with your creativity and with the way you look at the world and with the way you look at the people all around you, with news articles you see or things you might see on specific Reddits, for example, or a video on YouTube you might see, of which you think, I'd be able to use that actually in my story in one way or another. I've made a few videos about that, on how I used information videos and things like that, how I turned that into events in Tergane, in the main series and in other series. So yeah, I mean, it's fun to be able to do that and to be able to inspire your own creativity and to work with that. It's so amazing, even if you just do it for yourself, because it will keep you going, and that's what I love. So with that, I'm going to take a quick look ahead at tomorrow. Tomorrow I will do the live stream at 1:30 p.m. my time, so that's Central European time. That is I think about 6:30 USA time, out of the top of my head. Tish was that I am 1.5 hours after you start with your morning live stream. So that would put me at 6:30 in your time zone. Is that correct? And for those who are in the other on the other side of the world, that's sometime in the evening. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not quite sure about that time. Did you say that's correct? Oh, perfect. So 6:30 USA time. And I think if we go by the max 9 hours the other way, so that's 1:30, around 10-ish, something like that. 9, somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. No, I really can't calculate anymore. I don't know. I'm my conversion at the moment is not good. So yeah, I check my channel to see at what time it will be tomorrow, or mine tomorrow, and maybe your other time. So yeah, and then I will also be writing in GoFly, and I will show you another Sinterklaas treat. So thank you all for joining, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or join our Discord. I totally forgot to give you that link. The link is in the description box below. So I'd say have fun, and I wish you all a very creative day and a very happy day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.